Okay, so I am sitting down with the man himself. Here is Mr. Kurt Spruill. He is the composer of the tempo that we just heard and that I pulled some cards on. So let's see how accurate my reading was.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, this is a really
Absolutely.
cool, unique experience, and I'm grateful for it. Thank you.
Absolutely. This was Kurt's idea, and I had a blast. And I really am looking forward to doing maybe more readings like this in the future.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. Yeah, something
Music
to
is
consider.
energy, and that's what I read. So, yeah.
Yeah,
So, where would you like to start?
yeah. So the cards revealed a lot of things that resonated with me, which I found really fascinating. And there's certain things about my current situation as well as the past that connect to this song that
Hmm.
you were not aware of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That was
right.
really
Kurt didn't
interesting.
tell me anything about, he just said that he's writing this song that he wants me to pull cards on. That's it.
Yeah. And that was a conscious decision, right? It's like I didn't want to provide you with information that might guide you in any way,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
And that's what all my subscribers know, that I like to go into my readings completely blind. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, just unbiased, right? So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
How did you feel about when I touched on the evolution? Because, like, a big thing of what I remember I got from the reading was how far you've come.
absolutely, yeah. So how that resonates with me is you weren't aware of this, but it's actually an older song that I wrote and recorded with one of my former bands. The band was called Terrestrial. And at the time that we wrote and recorded that song, it was like a full 6 minute version of the song and with vocals. At the time in that band, there was a lot of hostility and animosity, and we disbanded within a year, I think, of releasing the album that featured this song.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of tension and poor communication that led to the death of that band. And honestly, I'm not proud of the way I handled certain situations and and how that impacted those relationships. But I've learned to forgive myself and the other people in that band that I no longer have a relationship with. I probably won't ever renew a relationship with them, but I'm at peace with that and with them. Right?
And like that's perfect. That's, not every relationship is supposed to last forever. They have their purpose. It's either for us to learn something or experience something good.
Sure.
And, so that's like wisdom and maturity.
And at the time that we made that album, we were just so excited to get into like a good studio and record these songs, but some of them, including this one, weren't quite ready to be
Hmm.
recorded. Right. So we were still figuring it out as we were recording it. And I was never that satisfied with the finished result, at least for that song and a few of
Yeah,
the others on that album. So revisiting this song and recording all the parts myself as an instrumental and kind of condensing it into 90 seconds was both challenging and rewarding, and also, I would say, cathartic as well. Because
absolutely.
honestly, for the longest time, I mean, the band Terrestrial disbanded in 2016, and for several years, I wouldn't even listen to any of that music
Wow.
because of like how bitter I was and the resentment I felt towards some of the other members. Not all of them, but some of them,
Hmm.
right? So it created this like negative association. I just had no interest in visiting any of that for a long time. So yeah, it was a healing and cathartic experience to revisit this song and re-record it.
Absolutely. And it would be because you're giving closure
Sure.
to a very important part of your life and something that you helped create, you
Yeah.
know?
And
Uh,
the version with the band, not only was it like a longer song and had vocals and other instrumentation, but it was also like both versions are dark,
yeah,
but the version with the band was more of like a cold darkness. Whereas this version has a bit more warmth to it. It's still dark.
absolutely.
It's dark.
Triumphancy.
Triumphant. Yes, that's one
Yeah.
of the things you touched on in
Yes.
reading was it does sound empowering and triumphant, like you've overcome something, and that is absolutely true.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you did. You overcame a bad situation, a recording that you didn't feel good about,
Yeah.
and you reversed that.
Yeah. Well, it's like reclaiming my art too, right?
Absolutely.
You know,
And as artists, I mean, like I'm not a musician, but I do other art, and it is, I mean, it's one thing creating art for a business and for a career, but
sure.
a lot of people that do that, they create it anyway. That's just what they do. You are birthing ideas and feelings and experiences from your soul
Yeah.
into the tangible world. And
Yeah.
so that's a piece of the person.
Ask myself the question, and you should ask this question. If I wasn't participating in this, would I appreciate it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, and I don't think this is egotistical, I think as a musician or artist in whatever medium, you should be your own biggest fucking fan, right?
Yeah.
You should be creating the thing that you want to put into the world,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And you,
absolutely.
and you
Because
should
what's
believe in it. And if you don't,
why are you
either
doing
look at
it?
other why are you doing it? Either create new opportunities or look for other opportunities that are available to you, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And I think that when people put art out there that they don't believe in, it shows.
it does.
It's not
Yeah.
interesting. You can
Yeah.
tell.
I see a lot of that.
Yeah. And unfortunately, in this throwaway society that we live in right now, that is consume, consume, throw away,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Use once and destroy kind of thing, right?
Yeah, integrity is everything.
It
And
is, absolutely.
it doesn't matter how much you'll get paid in the end. Uh, it will, then that novelty will wear off.
Yeah, I agree. And real recognizes real. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's another thing about being an artist that's hard to swallow is the criticism, you know, and realizing that it's just you that matters.
So, yeah, in recent years, I've started to measure success differently, right? Like I used to play in bands. I played in bands for, 15 plus years. And in
Well,
the
since high
past,
school.
since high school, yeah. And in the past several years, I've just focused on collaborative recording projects. I have my little home studio, and quite often I'm not even in the same room or country as the other people I'm working on these projects with.
Hmm.
And how I measure success now is different than how I used to. I'm not looking for validation as much, or focusing on the numbers of likes or the view count, right?
Yeah.
It's if I'm satisfied with what I've created, I've succeeded.
Yeah.
I'm making this for myself. And if other
Yep.
people like it, great.
It's
If
a
it never
bonus.
finds an if it never finds an audience, that's okay too. Or if it does find an audience that rejects it, that's okay too, as long as I'm satisfied with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And that is really freedom, actually,
yeah,
because when you put all of your emotions to into the basket of people liking or disliking, I mean, that's not freedom because you'll always be you're always going to be disappointed because you can't please everybody.
sure.
It's all about perception. What one
Agreed.
person finds beautiful or interesting, another may not, and that's absolutely okay. Were you surprised at all of what I touched on? Like,
I
were you
was
like, oh, wow, okay.
I was impressed. Yeah, yeah, I was impressed, and I would say surprised as well. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, have you had a tarot reading before that?
I have not. No, this was my first experience. Yeah,
Cool. I
yeah,
seem to be a lot of people's first. I
yeah.
swear, every time I do readings, like either at a convention or um, in public, at a cafe, whatever, I would say 60% of people are newbies.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
that is cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
add me to that list.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, something else you touched on in the reading was about creating strategies and problem solving when things don't go to plan, right? Um, so I do intend to move back home to the Lanark County area where we both kind of grew up and met at
Yeah,
high school. I do plan on moving back to that area this year. A lot of my family is still residing in that area. The original plan was that I would return at the beginning of the summer, but now that those plans have been pushed back for a variety of reasons.
yeah.
And
And there was a card that was delays.
yes, yeah, and I've accepted that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's what needs to happen.
A few months isn't going to make that much of a difference in the timeline. And if that couple months delay means that you're going to be more secure when you do transition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other last comments or
No, actually, I think we kind of touched on everything. So
I
how do
think
you
so
want to
too. It was a
how do
really
you want
great
to
experience and I would
yes.
absolutely love to do it again.
Thank you, Mandy.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. And we'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
Okay, have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.